Okay, welcome to Guitar. So starting on page 5, we first talk about the 3 aspects of playing. Tuning is very important, and we have 6 different ways that I'll talk about tuning. Technique is what I like to say, just being relaxed. So how you hold your hand, where you play the notes, and how you approach playing guitar in a relaxed fashion. And then getting different sounds. Of course, if you have an electric guitar, you can use an amplifier, get distortion, get different effects. But here's a very interesting little experiment here. So I'm just going to play a simple chord. I'm going to play an E minor. If you don't know that, that's okay. We'll get to it. And I'm just going to start moving the pick off to the right. Difference in sound there. So here it's warm and full and low, and then it gets really like picky sounding, pun intended, and very thin, trebly. We can also play with our hands, so you can strum either with your nails. Sometimes you can strum just with your fingers, just with the tips, if you want a really soft sound. Of course, you can do like finger picking, that sort of thing. You can play, bass players often play like this, but also if you're playing scales. Okay, and then of course, same thing is kind of this pinching. It's almost like you're holding a pick, and then you just use the thumb this way and first finger that way. There's lots of different ways to get sounds. Of course, you can kind of tap on the guitar a little bit. So like stuff like that, okay? Okay, so that's sound. And remember to stay relaxed. If something starts to hurt or feel funny, just stop and maybe shake it out a little bit or take a break. Consistent practice is what's going to get you there the quickest, and what I suggest is maybe doing like 3 10-minute sessions every day. So for example, you could learn your warm-ups and your techniques and start out with that, and then maybe work on your reading, which is the second half of my book, and then end up playing some chords, singing some songs, jamming with the radio or online, that sort of thing. So the most important thing, as always, have fun, and just like I said, be consistent, play every day. Even 5 minutes a day is better than 3 hours on Sunday. So every single day, don't put your guitar in the case, just leave it out somewhere safe, and rock and roll. So on page 6, we talk about the different parts of the guitar. If it's vertical, you'll see it's looks like a person. You have the body and then the neck, and then up on the top is the head. So the head or headstock is where you have the tuners. That's how we tune. This little thing is called the nut. That just kind of guides the strings where they want to go. And then on the neck we have the frets. This is called the fretboard, and so here are the little metal frets. And an interesting note, so you'll notice this is the first fret. So when we say go to first fret, we don't actually play on that, we play in between them. Typically, at least starting out, it's a good idea to kind of shoot for the center, right in the middle of this whole playing field here. But you'll find that you can be a little bit up, so to your right, toward the guitar body, is a pretty safe zone. Okay? Moving on, here's the body, and then this is the sound hole, and then this is called the bridge, which just bridges the strings across. Of course, with an electric guitar, you have pickups, you have different volume controls and things like that. So we'll talk about that as we go. And now on page 11, we'll talk about the pressure exercise. I did a video on this, but just to review, there are 4 sounds. You can get an open string, just playing the string by itself. And then if you come up, I generally recommend start with the lower strings, the lower pitched strings, and maybe the first or second fret. And if you just make contact with it, so maybe I'll show you like this. So see, I'm playing it open, and then I just come in and just contact. That's called a mute. So you're not getting a sound. And then if you just kind of barely push in, a little tiny bit at a time, you'll start to get that nasty buzz, as they say. So So most people run for the hills when they get that and they squeeze really hard. But notice if I even stop playing, there's your note. So it's a very, very little amount of pressure needed for the guitar. And I often say that the difference between a mute and the buzz and the note is about as thick as a guitar pick, or maybe even less. I don't know. But it's a pretty small distance to get from there to there. Okay, so for the pressure exercise, I'm going to recommend that you start somewhere so that the angle of your elbow is pretty natural. You don't want to be too far either way. So, you know, if you were just relaxed and then you brought your arm straight up, it would be somewhere around here. So for me, in this case, it's 4th fret. Sometimes it's higher or lower depending on how you're sitting. So I'm going to start on the 5th fret for just general purposes, but just again, be comfortable wherever you are. And what we'll do, and you can do anything you want with your right hand. You can use a pick, you can use your thumb, it just doesn't matter at this point. But we're just going to play like one note over and over. Put your first finger on the 5th fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fret. And don't push yet, just kind of start plucking it and get a feel for that. And then add your 2nd finger, and notice I said add, so you want to leave these both on. Do that just a little bit, not pushing yet. There's your 3rd finger now, ring finger. And what we're doing is training your fingers to be on this straight line. Okay, so you can keep going, and then let's add your 4th finger. So let's try this for a second. So you're going to play the first note, and this time just start playing it, and then gently squeeze in until you get the note. And now as soon as you get it, immediately back it off and squeeze and back it off. And it should be so little movement that you can't even tell you're moving. It's a very tiny thing, okay? Leave that on, add your next one, and get the note, and relax it. Get the note. Ring finger now, 3rd finger. Get it, relax it. And this is a lifelong quest for guitar players, just staying relaxed. Okay, pinky. And if you're going for perfect technique, sure, you can have this exactly in the center, center, but you'll see there are a lot of different ways to play guitar. So sometimes your hand will be kind of bent over to the side or even all the way over. It just depends on what you're doing and where you're reaching. So rule number 1, have fun. Rule number 2, don't hurt. So stay relaxed and you'll be fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Add your next finger, 4. 1, 2, 3. Add your next finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, and now we're going to go to the next string. So get that note. And here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you get the idea. If you can do all of your strings down and back once a day, you'll be that much better on guitar, that much quicker. If you do it twice a day, twice as good, maybe even more. You could set a timer and play just with that, 5 minutes, that sort of thing. Practice, 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 and really relaxed and getting a nice flow is the way to go with this exercise. And now we're going to talk about page 7, knowing your notes, basic notes. First thing you want to get into your head is the names of the strings. So I've made up a little mnemonic device for that, and that is Eddie ate dinner, goodbye Eddie. So your friend Eddie comes over, he eats dinner, and then he's out of here. Eddie ate dinner, goodbye Eddie. So if they say where's G, in your mind you say Eddie ate dinner, good, G. There it is, that's G. Okay, so here's your low E string, E, and then we're gonna go to the 1st fret. So remember F is for first, F is for first. Then we're gonna go to G, so here's G, maybe rhymes with 3, G. here's the 5th fret A, like A high 5. I don't know. 5th fret is A, okay? Let's do those backwards. A. And now 3rd fret, G. And you start to memorize these. F. And E. And let's do that again. So while you're playing the E, slide your hand up and play the A. Notice that your thumb is just relaxed back here. The basic job of your thumb is that if you push on the neck, it won't go anywhere. So you're not going to be doing that because this is going to be supporting that, okay? And there's your guitar technique. It's a very natural, simple thing. Okay, so let's do this again. We're starting at 5. 1, 2, ready? A, down to G, down to F, down to E, back up to 5th fret, A, 5th fret, and one more time. Okay, so there's your first song. Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back, and a million other songs that kind of have that that feel to it, okay? Just test yourself, maybe get some flashcards, whatever you want to do. Get good at those notes. Here we go to the next string now, so A string. And now we're just doing the alphabet. So what's the second letter of the alphabet? B. So second note on the 2nd fret is B. B. And then 3rd fret is C. And if you have dots on your guitar, you may have a dot on 3, you may have a dot on 5, which is D, and also you might have one on 7, which is E. I'm going to do all that again. Open A. Okay, here's B, 2nd fret. Then we've got C,